Folks, we are going to do a deep dive on the California Dream. The 300 million is now spent and gone or fully allocated. It went in 12 short days, which is twice as fast as I thought it would go. I actually thought people had to go to class before allocation. Apparently, they only had to be registered, which if I had known that, I would have, because this was going to go fast. And now I think we pick up the pieces. I think what a lot of people don't realize is it will hurt a lot more people than it helped, is my opinion. So, Matt, I know you've collected some data. Why don't you give it to us? How many people were actually helped? What were some kind of the raw numbers?
Yeah, I
we'll
have
talk
them
about the aftermath.
Somewhere 20, and we guesstimated 23 to 2,500, right? So we were spot on. 2,564 have reservations with Cal HFA. Cal HFA knows that there's going to be some fallout. There's going to be some that, inspections come back and they say no thanks, or they thought they qualified, they don't, whatever. And so I think it was Monday I got confirmation. Everyone's next question is like, will they come out with another round of funding? Will there be 50 million left over if they don't fund enough or all of these loans? The answer is probably not and no. They overbooked it by 20%. So they said, even with 20% fallout, like this 300 million's gone, and no immediate plans to refund it, which is probably a good idea. A lot of unintended consequences, a lot of whoopsie daisy. If we would have thought, we would have done this. And so, I won't say it was a complete cluster F, but it had its hiccups. And so 2,564 reserved. I talked to the folks at Cal Matters. They put out an article yesterday, which is pretty cool. And me and you, discussed it briefly, talked about the demographics of the program and who got it, what counties. I'll share those stats because I think it's kind of cool. Sacramento, where Cal HFA is based, where I'm based, we make up only 4% of the total population of California. We got 11% of Dream for All submissions, followed by Los Angeles County, Riverside County, Contra Costa County. But Los Angeles County getting 9% of the applications. Their population is 25% of the state, right? So in relation to population versus how much Dream for All, Sacramento got a huge chunk. Cal Matters contacted me to say, why do you think that's so? I think it was for a number of reasons. Conversations with you, conversations with others, knew 2 weeks before this program was out, every loan originator, every realtor, everybody was talking about it. There was so much hype built around this program. Those of us that think things through, like you said, this probably got a 4 to 6 week shelf life. And that was my original prediction. I said 4 to 6 weeks. But one loan officer like myself, if I got 50 or 60 applications, how many tens of thousands, more than 100,000 applications throughout the state for these 2,500 spots? And one of the worst parts, I think, Mike, is that it created this crazy dynamic where people were rushing to go submit offers. They were submitting higher offers than they would have had this program not existed. So it was making it harder at the levels that don't need any more competition. And so I had a funny conversation yesterday. Properties listed at 470. It got 8 offers. I talked to the listing agent because my clients were one of them. 7 of 8 offers were California Dream. One offer was cash. Now, if that property gets into contract for 540 with a California Dream for All program, we don't even have to talk about if it doesn't appraise and if that person has money, if it falls out. But it gives everybody this false sense of this house is worth 540. With no California Dream, they might have only had offers to 470. Exactly. So sellers have unrealistic expectations. Buyers might think it's more competitive than it is. So this will be interesting to see over the next month or two how it all kind of shakes out once, this
is going to have to go down as a nightmare. again, let's assume 2,500 people get in. And again, let's assume they didn't overpay. Both of those things aren't true. Let's just assume. It hurt, destroyed hundreds of thousands of people. I know in just my little circle, there were people that for the first time in a long time thought they could own a home, and they were excited. They were shopping. They were doing the work. And to see it ripped away in 12 short days, which is faster than anyone expected, they're out. They don't have an option. They now think the system is stacked against them. Nobody cares about that. This stuff that I'm hearing from people is not what you want to hear. People are just giving up. This is gonna hurt 10x, 50x, 100x more people than it helped. Unfortunately,
I agree, because I'm having the same conversations where, you know, people got their hopes up, you know, justified or not. Like that's what this was. It was the magic. And
you called it California Dream. I think that means hopes go up. I mean, let's talk about a marketing thing.
And the problem, you know, there was many problems, and I don't want to knock Cal HFA. I think they're trying to do their best, but it was way too wide of parameters. If somebody made $290,000 a year as an engineer, they could go out and buy $1 million property and have this program put the 200,000 down for them, even if they had 300,000 in the bank. That is not somebody who needs a handout or a help with buying their first home. It's just not, right? And so I suspect, and I talked to Cal Matters about this too, that, you know, half of the people that received this, it was an option, or it was, you know, a leverage play. It wasn't out of necessity. And so there's people on the sidelines out of necessity that could either buy at 550 with this 20% help, or they could only buy at a 400, which maybe in their market, you know, there's nothing available at that, or they can't buy at all, or whatever the case is. So yeah, there's some discouraged buyers. There's some, you know, broken hearts. And oh, by the way,
they're pissed off.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, the latest thing I'm hearing is, how do we get a refund for this education course? They allowed everyone to take the course, spend $100, and there was this mad dash. Hey, it's booking. It's booked out till May. Now it's booked out till June. They eventually added some counselors to get that like backlog. But Mike, 2,500 people are getting this, you know, this loan program. The other however many thousands.
Gotta be, if it's not 50,000, I'd be shocked.
Well, here's the kicker. It's third-party education. They're not refunding you.
No chance.
They delivered a service. So you've got more education now that you paid for. But like, it was interesting to me. I didn't tell any clients to do the education in advance. I said, if we get into contract, great. I promise you we'll figure out how to get the education. And they did figure it out, right? And so realtors screaming from the rooftops, loan officers having, you know, 40 clients rush out and get the education done, and then none of them get into contract. I mean, you just burned $100 or 97 or whatever the heck the price was for those clients who ended up not getting in the program. So, you know, I think hopefully good intention.
How are people going to spend this? Do you think we look back on this in 3 months and it will be called anything other than an utter disaster? Do you think there's any silver lining to this?
For 2,500 people, there is.
No, but even that they're probably, many of them overpaid because there was no inventory. Folks, we don't have, if you haven't realized yet, we don't have a demand problem. The demand's not the problem.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, there can't be much silver lining, I guess, if I'm an eternal optimist.
Yes, you are.
And the thing,
we need to beat that out of you.
Yeah, keep beating me down over time. Maybe you'll get me. But I'm just happy to be alive. The thing that I will say is that hopefully there's lessons learned, and there's enough that comes out of this, enough pain. Like, pain generally causes lessons. And so maybe it's, you know what, we learned some lessons. Maybe we should, you know, talk to some people, figure out the root of the problem, whatever comes out of it. Hopefully that is the silver lining, is that a lot was learned. The next program, the next initiative, the next thing that comes out and hopefully comes at it from a different angle, which me and you know is to solve the inventory problem. That's the silver lining that could come out of it.
Yeah, I really do think this is going to go down as a nightmare. I think probably half the people that paid. So again, it's always percentages. Let's assume half the people didn't need it. It was an option that actually makes it, maybe it makes it better for them, but they didn't need it. I think half the people overpaid. But again, I think you hurt 10, 50, 100x the people. And again, taking hope away, that it was just, I mean, I'm seeing it. There's a guy I've been talking with casually for a while. He got all excited, was starting to do this, do that, and now he's just depressed.
Yeah.
Like, do you realize this is what you did to people? It's not good.
Right. It's definitely
Well,
not.
you know what? UWM is doing something kind of similar, nowhere near the scale, but we're going to leave that as a tease for video number 2, because I think it is very creative and I think it will help some people, and they've done it before. So this is not like a test run for them. So, but before we do, how can somebody reach out to you and see what's what and get in contact with you?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, connect with me and my team. We're in 46 states. Because there's not one program that fits everybody. And I think that is, you know, I've said it time and time again, I'll continue to say it. It's me and my team at greatmortgagebroker.com, or it's a local person you like and trust, or you've got, you know, somebody who you've already been working with as a lender, but talk to somebody.
Yeah.
The one that asks questions to figure out what your goals are, what your specific credit score and down payment funds and all that stuff is. Then you get a tailored plan towards you, because it's not a one size fits all. So yeah, we'll tease the UWM 1% down. We'll talk about that next, brother.
Awesome. Thank you so much.